You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
On WCBM.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday.
I needed to come down to see if it was actually reflecting, and it wasn't bright blue. And I'm impressed, to be honest. It reflects beautifully, and I'm not seeing it being American flag blue, to be honest. The cost is incredible. It just blows my mind.
I'm walking along the path next to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, which is now open. The fencing is down and the water is full.
I originally thought I'd do it for $2 or $3 million, just do a base. But now we're fixing up the exterior of it. We're doing so we'll probably be in there for less than $20 million.
Just behind me, I want to note there is a worker who is vacuuming up algae buildup. The Interior Department says this is residual algae from the supply lines that have been sitting during construction, and it will be removed. But most of all, I'm here to talk to people for their thoughts on the project.
Very happy it opened up in time, not just in time for my trip, but also in time for the 250 celebration. I think it looks beautiful. It looks very dark. It does not look blue, but maybe it's just the way the sun is bouncing up.
Yeah, and as much as the left is trying to bitch and whine about the reflecting pool and moan and all that, they're just being destroyed because it's absolutely beautiful. You've seen the before and after photos, the overhead shots of Washington, D.C. now versus during Joe Biden. You've seen the fountains shut down being used as latrines by homeless people. Now beautiful. A metaphor for life in America under Donald Trump versus the awful, terrible Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, and the awful, evil Democrat Party. They are. Anyway, welcome to the show. How you doing? Did you have a good yesterday? I had a great yesterday. Oh my gosh. I went to Gettysburg, and I had not been on a tour or to the visitor center probably since around 2006. Now, I'd been to Gettysburg and gone and walked the battlefields, I think most recently about 2013-ish, 2014-ish, but I hadn't been back in a while. And yesterday, I took 2 busloads of listeners to the show from Baltimore, WCBM Radio, which is our anchor station, to Gettysburg, and then back. I rode the number 1 bus there, number 2 bus back, and talked to the crowd for an hour and a half both directions, much to their chagrin, possibly. I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you, It could be something you need to do during the 250th anniversary of the country, if not coming to Washington, D.C., because I saw people crying yesterday. I saw people in our group of folks who went there weeping after the film strip. They've got this thing. It's a cyclorama. It's a painting that they made 40 feet high, and it's a complete round. And you sit in this amphitheater, and it's completely round. And then what they do is they've got this the painting of the battle going on, and all around you. And then the cyclorama, which is a set like of an extension of the painting that's made real, like real wagons, real dirt, real greenery and whatnot, as it meets the painting on the wall. And it is, I swear, it is the most remarkable place. And as they tell the story of Gettysburg, and you realize how what these soldiers went through, the horror of what they went through, the abject poverty they came from, the misery that they suffered, and the awful end that many of them met. Enough of this white privilege bullcrap. Yesterday it was unbelievable. They've got this guy named Jim Miller, who is like a savant historian and a brilliant storyteller. And for an hour and a half, we were on this bus with him, and you couldn't even tell if he took a breath. He was telling this story, and he would occasionally close his eyes and relay the real words of the troops from their memoirs. And relay them like he was living it, like he was channeling them. My God, it was so good. It was so good. And then we were on Little Round Top, and I did a little video from Little Round Top. And there was a battle that he relayed, and it was the most moving part of the presentation. The famous Union charge down Little Round Top, July 2nd, 1863, at the Battle of Gettysburg. Running low on ammunition, facing repeated assaults from the 15th Alabama. The 20th Maine's commander, Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, ordered his men to fix bayonets and charge down the hill, surprising the Confederates. Now, here's the interesting thing, and we're going to get to the news of the day. I just want to share this. And if you get a chance to hear this guy, I did a little live video on Instagram yesterday of this Jim Miller on the bus relaying the story, and I was not able to save the video. I'm going to try and get Jim on the show. But he talked about, and this is a metaphor for what we're confronting in this country today, the evil that has kind of fallen over our country that we're fighting back against right now. And I was talking to the people on the bus. I said, the left can be beaten back with joy and faith and patriotism. That's my mantra. And generally, when you challenge them on anything, they're like vampires to garlic. They run and they hide in the shadows because they're cowards. They're absolutely cowards. If they're there in numbers, like when they're outside of the ICE facility and they're hurling epithets at the ICE agents, they're all brave and everything. But once you punch back about a little bit, they just cower like little crybaby soy boy B words, And this is kind of a metaphorical for what this battle coming down Little Round Top, because Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain and his men, they were starving. They barely had any water. Yesterday we heard about troops marching 28 miles in the hot sun with no water, no food. And then they're on this Little Round Top, and they're being pummeled. And the leader, Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, says, "Affix your bayonets, men. We're going to charge." And they all realized they had no ammunition. And they knew they were going to die. And they began praying out loud to God to accept them into his kingdom as they charged down that hill. And as they were yelling the prayers to God as they ran down that hill toward the Confederates, who were well armed and had ammunition, they had no ammunition. And it surprised and overwhelmed the Confederates so much that the Confederates ran. The Confederates ran from men who had no ammunition, but were praying out loud to God, "Save me or take me. This is my last moment. These are my last moments on earth." I'm going to tell you guys, I had no idea. And when this guy, Jim Miller, shared the story, I went, wow. And I know there's a reason why I heard that story. They were praying so loudly as they charged unarmed with their bayonets fixed, no bullets, at the Confederates, who overwhelmed them and had been pummeling them for days, and they were starving and they were weak. And they prayed so loudly they couldn't hear the words of their commanding officer as they charged down that hill. And all the Confederates would hear are men praying loudly to God to either save them or accept them into heaven as they confronted the Confederates. And the Confederates ran. Wow. I knew the trip to Gettysburg was going to be great. I had no idea how great it was going to be. I wanted to share that story with you today because it just took my breath away. This guy, Jim Miller, who is an older gentleman, probably in his 70s, and he leads these tours. He's written books on this. And his storytelling was so, like I said, he closed his eyes, and it was like he was channeling the words of the Confederates. We were all sitting on the bus looking at each other. It wasn't just, and over here on the right, you'll see a monument to whatever. It was him speaking and channeling the words of these men. And you have no idea the poverty they came from and the poverty they went back to. They had nothing to fight for. These men fighting for freedom freedom for the slaves came with nothing, left with nothing. Many of them left missing limbs. We talked about there were these hospitals that went on. They made 160 hospitals out of buildings around Gettysburg, and there was one hospital, they had cut off so many limbs. There was a pile of limbs 9 feet tall laying on the ground, and there was a 13-year-old girl who was charged with others to take the limbs to either be cremated or buried. I mean, we can never forget our history. We can never forget those who sacrificed for us. And I was thinking yesterday, it was 95 degrees, it was hot. And everybody on the bus, they were asked, do you want to get off the bus? And people were like, no, we better stay on the bus because it's so hot. And then we thought about the men wearing wool uniforms around the same time of the year, but a little bit more into the heat of the season because it's only June now, because it was July 2nd and 3rd in Gettysburg. And they were wearing wool uniforms with nothing to eat but hardtack and water, and starving to death with nothing. And they fought this battle. And I got to tell you, it was, I wish my father could have been there. My father was a Civil War fanatic, and he died in 1994, 72 years old. He's World War II veteran. He only survived 7 years after he retired. But man, I would have loved to have had him hear this guy's narrative. I swear, it was just something else. It was just something else. And as I think of that, we're in our 250th birth, a year of our birth. Donald Trump is the president of the United States. You've got the beautification of Washington, D.C. happening. You've got the fireworks returning to Mount Rushmore, among other things. You've got the pall of darkness that the Democrat Party had cast across the country being pushed back as their party is being pushed into hell as they do their death spiral, taking the wrong tack, the wrong side of God, the wrong side of good. And I know that we are at this moment for a reason. I know that there is a reason why I am here and you are here at this moment, why we have crossed paths. And yesterday was just another piece of evidence for that. Yesterday was just another piece of evidence of that. We've got so much to get to on the show today. Obviously, it is a Friday, so we have the unusual suspects. Tony Kinnett of the Daily Signal is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Welcome to the show. Please come inside if you want to chime in. 800-922-6680. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
It is a Friday edition of the Rob Carson Show. Hope you're having a good week. Had a good week. It's already the 12th of June. Summer will be arriving. I guess, what is it, 20th, 22nd? I guess it's officially summer. But anyway, it's I had a couple days off this week for a number of things. Tuesday, day off, and then yesterday go on a trip to Gettysburg, and then I'm going to be on back on through the summer. Essentially, I've had as far as official days off this year, like not work days off, like just Rob taking a day off this year, one. So there you go. Yeah. And I'll begin doing another day off, I think, in July, and then maybe late in the summer. But I like what I do for a living, so that kind of helps. Kids are in town, by the way. The kids are in town. Son and I kind of hit butt heads a little at the beginning, because men do that, right? We kind of butt heads. We haven't seen each other in a while. My daughter's here, and my son is here, and enjoying some time together, which is kind of nice. Washington, D.C. is beautiful. The Democrat Party just hates the fact that Donald Trump is making D.C. beautiful. It's so beautiful here, and the fountains, and then there's this big UFC arena, and the Democrat Party, they feminized men. They said that masculinity was toxic, among other things. They said that women could become men and men could become women. So the Democrat Party has assaulted both sexes, saying that men are toxic and awful, and that and somehow women should become men if they want to be happy, otherwise not so much. And of course, they also said that women are too stupid or dependent on men to be able to get an ID after you get a divorce. So oh, my God, it's unbelievable. And then, of course, on top of everything else, 7 Democrat-led states have pulled out of the Great American State Fair, an event celebrating America's 250th anniversary, because they're such petulant, awful, wretched people, including the fat parade balloon, J.B. Pritzker in Illinois. Oh, my God, the Illinois won't be represented in the state fair. Oh, no. Oh, what do they got in their souvenir booths, like chalk body outline, the kits, police tape. Really? Oh, no. We want Illinois there. I mean, it's such a great state. The outbound migration from the state is so great because it sucks. So 7 states have decided to be complete, jerks, and not celebrate the 250th anniversary of America because Donald Trump is the president. How awful are you people? I mean, honestly, it's our party. You're not invited. We thank you for disinviting yourselves. That's the greatest thing in the world. This is CNN talking about the UFC fight, which, by the way, the UFC is paying for everything down there. They got this glorious MMA fighting rink, and it's incredible. It looks awesome. And anybody with an ounce of testosterone, or even women who love men who actually have testosterone, would absolutely, real women and real men love it. Not soy boy latte drinking, whatevers, and women with pink hair who hate men. They're going to hate it. But here's CNN with Abby Phillips hosting and talking about the about the great MMA rink and the fact that they need so many porta potties down there for some reason. And Scott Jennings gives her a little what for.
The UFC says that they're going to be footing the bill, which includes the new octagon cage, which is very visible in the back of the White House, and a substantial amount of perishable.
I know there's an octagon cage on the grounds of the White House. How kick butt is that?
Food and as many as 494 porta potties.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't mean that there has been no taxpayer money spent on this and other logistics.
Wow, boo friggity who.
This continues to be one of the more perplexing things happening.
No, not at all. It's really cool, Abby Normal.
At the White House.
Nothing perplexing about it at all. It's America.
I do wonder, Scott, why? Why are we doing this?
It's the 250th anniversary of America, and it's on Flag Day. One of the days we're going to celebrate this year in the 250th anniversary of America. It's also Donald Trump's birthday.
94 porta potties.
That's a lot of porta potties.
Somewhere Graham Plattner's booking an airline
ticket. $60 million.
Somewhere. 494 porta potties. Somewhere Graham Plattner is booking an airline ticket. That is spectacular. Let's got to hear that again.
Scott, why? Why are we doing this?
You know what? You wouldn't be questioning if Obama was doing it, but the only thing they do with when Democrats are in office is have a Trans Day of Visibility, hijack the Easter egg roll, and transgendered women flash their breasts.
494 porta potties.
That's a lot of porta potties.
Somewhere Graham Plattner's booking an airline ticket.
$60 million.
I mean, look, here's what I think.
What?
This is a cool thing.
Yeah,
I saw it today, by the way.
Awesome.
I was out on the street.
Me too. I saw it the other day.
Testing the sound. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's part of the America 250 celebration.
Yeah, we created MMA fighting.
It's not uncommon for presidents to have interactions with the entertainment world. Happens all the time.
Yeah.
Doing it on the South Lawn of the White House is a little unusual.
You can see it going there.
But that's okay.
It's actually even more...
it's our party. You're not invited, Abby Normal.
When the lights are fully on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the video boards are cool. But I think we need unusual things for America 250.
Nothing as unusual as transgendered women showing their boobs on the White House. Meanwhile, here's what Democrats are doing. They're vandalizing the lawn, the mall near the World War II Memorial.
If you own a gun, you know how important it is to have your sights dialed in. And that's what you're going to
see down the National Mall. The numbers 8647 appeared in the green grass, not far from the World War II Memorial. We don't know how extensive this damage is and whether this is easily repairable, but it's not just the vandalism that's notable, it's the message. 8647 has become a mainstream way to show disgust with President Trump.
No, it's to kill
86
him.
Usually means to axe or kill something, usually used in the restaurant industry, and 47 traditionally references President Trump, as he's both the 45th and 47th president.
So they use some sort of maybe herbicide to do a giant 8647 on the grass down there, and I hope when they find the B-words who did this, they prosecute the hell out of them and throw them in jail for a while, because it is not only a threat against the President of the United States, it's vandalism of the National Mall. Honestly, done with your darkness. We don't need to live in darkness anymore. It's our party. If you want to come, you can come. If you don't, who cares? Who cares? Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF.
It sucks to be you. Tom Massey, you're through. You're an anti-Semite. On Tuesday night, voters said adieu. Bill Cassidy, too. Bet he's feeling blue. Bill had to go. Voters told him no. From every bayou. Indiana was grand. It went just as planned. 7 rhinos were beat. Payback complete. Those traitors got canned. In Georgia, Raffensperger got beat. That's why they say revenge is sweet. It sucks to be you, miserable you. It sucks to be you.
The bottom line is this. Donald Trump is the general of the Republican Party, and the Republican primary voters are his soldiers.
MTG replaced. Herself, she's disgraced. Liz Cheney sent home from the Capitol dome. She got her due. That is why John Cornyn is vexed. He has to know that he is next. It sucks to be you. Endanger you. It sucks to be you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support, less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. With financing, some Ghost Beds come out to around $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson.
I want to see elections be honest, and if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it. Because, you know, if you think about it, a state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway. But when you see some of these states about how horribly they run their elections, what a disgrace it is, I think the federal government, when you see crooked elections, and we had plenty of them, and by the way, we had them last time, but go to 2020 and look at the facts that are coming out. Rigged, crooked elections. If we have areas, take a look at Detroit, take a look at Pennsylvania, take a look at Philadelphia. You go take a look at Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption on elections. And the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes.
That is Donald Trump saying maybe we ought to federalize the elections across the country. I'm not so sure I would want Democrats in charge if that were to be happening. But here to discuss this and so much more, Tony Kinnett, of course, from the Daily Signal, and also does a wonderful show on WIBC in the heartland of America, Indianapolis, Indiana. Tony Kinnett, how you doing, bro?
It's been a decent week, I'd say. It's getting better as things go along, you know.
Yeah. I took a day off yesterday, went to Gettysburg, and I hadn't been in a very long time, and they had this storyteller on the bus named Jim Miller, and bro, I wish you could have been there. People were in tears. This guy was such a storyteller, and he would close his eyes and like it was channeling the soldiers. He used their words, and it was buddy, it was something else. It was really something else, man.
It's incredible that you mentioned that because I don't know if you've seen all of the videos this week of the Europeans who have come over to the country amid the World Cup.
Yeah.
Have you seen these? All of these Germans and Swedes, and they love this country. They've been here. Like, no one ever told us how incredible the United States of America is. I can't get enough of it.
Well, it's interesting. I like to say the Democrat Party is they're dying like movie vampires descending into hell, trying to grab us kicking and streaming. Nothing too inflammatory there. But that said, it's true. And if you see, like, for instance, all of the fountains, which were latrines for the homeless. And then, of course, the glorious reflecting pool, which was an algae pool under Obama, and he spent 3 times as much money to fix the damn thing. And every time I go down to the reflecting pool or the Lincoln Memorial, you know what I see? The people who love America are not from here. It's remarkable.
It's true.
It is.
Finally, and this is one of the reasons that I'm so optimistic.
Yes.
And I saw a lot of people this week playing footsie with this, the Schrodinger's deal with Iran. Maybe it happened, maybe it isn't. There are so many excellent things that I am seeing in this country right now. Are there a few things that frustrate me? Always and absolutely.
100%.
But when I go out and I talk to Americans and, yes, tourist Europeans, I am reminded how freaking phenomenal this place is.
I know.
And how many good things are actually going on.
You know, when I saw Sunny Hostin last week on The View, like her opinion matters, saying that... Such fool. She's a spoiled, entitled adult child. She says that America has been a failed experiment, even though London and Paris existed for 1,000 years with the same people and resources, and they were still using the streets as a latrine. And one of our founding fathers discovered frickin' electricity, and we played golf on the moon 50 years ago. She says we're a failed experiment.
This is the same Sunny Hostin of the same View that said Democrats need to suck it up and vote for the man who was likely messaging little girls on Kick that they're running for the Senate in Maine like a week ago? A week ago?
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. He's saying that all of this is in his past, and he's been redeemed, even though he had the Kick, the damn Kick profile. He was still doing stuff a year ago in his marriage. I feel like he isn't going to make it to November because you've got people like some. Here's the latest from Republicans or Democrats. They're all saying the same thing. It's up to the people of Maine. I'm busy with my own campaign. I think something is going to drop, and I don't think he's going to make it to November. What do you think?
So, I mean, I know what you mean, like a lot of the Democrats who are coming out to say it are all saying the same thing, but Democrats are not saying the same thing regarding Plattner. The strategists, a lot of staffers, some of the congressional candidates in Maine running for Jared Golden's seat in the House, they are saying, this guy needs to get out of here. He's going to drag us all down.
Really?
We're going to lose if he doesn't. Oh, yeah. The actual Democrats in Maine are sounding the alarm. We shared this on the show last night. There are various Democrats, and again, the strategists, the guys that they forced me to debate during the day, they're like, yeah, I really think it's bad. CNN is saying that Plattner is like a scourge you just can't ignore.
Really? Now listen, I want you to hear
until July to get rid of him.
Okay, listen to Chris. Chris is Chris Coons.
Look, Casey, I've got my own re-election campaign to focus on, and I have lots of current colleagues who I am helping and supporting. Whether it's Sherrod Brown, who is seeking to return to his seat, or others like Mark Warner, who I am campaigning with and supporting. I know Susan Collins. I've worked with her. And I understand and respect why the voters of Maine have chosen someone who is an outspoken, forceful progressive, someone who is...
Okay, so that is some of the major players, Democrats in Washington, D.C., Mark Warner, Chris Coons, and others. But you're saying the complete opposite is coming out of people in Maine.
Yes, but see, that's the thing, though.
Good.
You put up Chris Coons, or you put up someone from the Delaware or the Connecticut political class, and they are always going to fall out and say, well, the people of Maine or whatever. But when you actually look at those who are on the ground, they're looking around and saying, we did an internal poll. Internal polls are supposed to shift 8 points in your favor.
Yes.
That's why it's internal.
Yes.
And the internal poll for him has him a point ahead of Collins.
Yeah.
That's a major wee-woo warning, sound the sirens kind of moment. So I think that what you're getting ready for is a Joe Biden-style switcheroo, probably near that date in July, which is their cutoff point.
So it's going to be Janet Mills, you're thinking?
I think so. I think that because, again, she has play in Maine. I think that she would actually give Susan Collins enough of a run for her money. I mean, again, if Thune had a brain, if John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, had a brain, he would leverage Susan Collins' campaign money to get her to flip on the filibuster.
Yeah.
but he's not doing that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it'll likely be Janet Mills.
Yeah. I would like to delay Graham Plattner's exit from the race as long as possible. Kind of like what the IRCG is doing, with the peace deal before November. Maybe not the best comparison, but I would like to keep him in as long as possible so she doesn't have a race in. And again, we kind of have a Kamala Harris just a very short time and a lot of money that aren't going to make a difference.
Well, I had a meeting with some of the Republicans involved in Susan Collins' campaign just this week. And to go ahead and lay on your suspicions there,
yes,
we are absolutely holding back certain things that we do know about Graham Plattner right now. For example, Fetterman kind of let the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
And said, he's sending pictures of his junk.
Uh-oh.
Now, have I seen these pictures personally? Praise the Lord God Almighty, no. Do I absolutely know they exist? Yes. Are we 90% sure at this point he sent those to minors?
What? Oh.
Now to be clear, no one would be sitting on anything that is referred to the DOJ for investigation.
Yes.
And all I can tell you is this: the DOJ is currently starting to poke around his messaging profiles. That's all I'm at liberty to say.
Okay. Well, the suspicions may be true. They certainly are suspicions. We all had those suspicions, but now at least you sound like you know a little bit more than we know. But you know what? You're the guy. You're Tony Kinnett. That's why I have you on the show, brother, because you're awesome. And we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
p.m.
And our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
No one is coming to save us. We need one thing. Something the man speaking after me has been fighting for 60 years. We need a political revolution. They took so much, they began to think that we didn't exist at all.
Now, that is just a Graham Plattner speech. I put some scary music behind it to kind of show you. This is a very dark individual. This is a very, very, very dark individual. No sense of humor. A complete creation of the political class. He made $5,000 as an oyster farmer.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started on mommy's little influencer oyster farm.
Oh.
Dude, so again, I grew up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I grew up on a farm.
Yeah,
all
me
right?
too.
I've never claimed to be a salt-of-the-earth farmer.
Yeah.
However, I have spent a large part of my life working on a farm. I know farmers, number one, obviously, they don't act like that. Number two, you don't have a farm that just has one customer buying your crop.
Yes.
Mommy's restaurant, which, by the way, according to her restaurant documents, she doesn't even make enough, she doesn't even get enough oysters from her little baby boy's oyster farm to fill her own restaurant. She's got to go to Sam's Club.
I'm trying to figure out why, I'm trying to figure out how somebody on full-time medical disability can become a senator. Rob, you knew what you were doing when you said that, don't you? Okay. What?
So, when this man comes home from his tours of duty in the Marines, right?
Yes.
He gets home and he immediately turns around and he signs up and applies to work for Blackwater, which again, from private conversations we've had, I'm not against private military companies at all.
Yes.
I will say, however, he worked for the scummiest one ever, and inside of it, he had a bad reputation.
Oh.
Then that man has the gall to claim that the Marines gave him PTSD.
Yeah.
You do not have crippling PTSD, come home, and then turn around and work for a contracting organization.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
No.
And then says that, all Marines are evil and racist and awful and all this stuff. Dude,
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way here. I just kind of want to, let's move on. And I haven't been spending a lot of time on Carmelo Anthony's awful family, and this because I think this the people who are going and urinating on the victim's grave and whatnot, and all of this. I haven't spent a lot on it because I really don't have time to focus on anything but Austin Metcalf and his family.
Well, he does. About 35 years.
Yeah, and exactly. And the little B word, I hope he's very popular in prison. But his family is claiming that he is destitute, even though they got $650,000 for, donations online that they spent on a house and an Escalade. And now they're, honestly, here's the really, I'm not the really sad, but a sad thing is that Carmelo Anthony's family doesn't give a rat's behind about him either.
No. But again, this is always the grift. You see this from a lot of the racial activists in the country.
Yeah.
They don't actually care about the people who they claim are being beaten or wronged or whatever. They want their 15 minutes of fame so they can get in front of the camera and ask some questions so that Jasmine Crockett can get out there and fake a brand new accent that the Tyler Perry producers wouldn't even touch. So that you can be impressed. Are you impressed, Rob? Are you ready to pay him reparations like Summer Lee and Ayanna Pressley you're calling for? Do you feel the vibe?
Well, you know why they're proposing reparations is because they're losing so many black voters, and this is the last ditch effort. They're doing another government check. And it's never going to happen. That's the thing. They're never going to get the reparations. They just keep saying it, and then when they don't get the reparations, they can say it's the Republicans. That's what that's all about. So they're increasingly desperate because they're losing black people from Democrat voter rolls, particularly among men, because they're done with this nonsense. And then also because of the SCOTUS decision. So last-ditch effort is reparations 2.0, and it's not going to work.
Well, yeah. That's why you've got Larry Reed, the emasculated
Atlanta
podcaster, going, You know what we need to do? We need to go to Africa. We need to leave America. We need to drain them of their value, which I love the idea as though inner city culture is what makes America America.
Yeah.
No, honey, sweetie baby. But anyway.
He says he wants to. Now, but here's the problem. There are a whole bunch of sub-Saharan African nations over there. Which one are you going to choose? And have you talked to them about it?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Have you ever talked to someone from Botswana or Nigeria, what they think about American inner city culture? I don't think they're going to be welcoming you with open arms.
And this idiot, this Larry Reed says that Africa is the land of milk and honey. If I'm not mistaken, we periodically do massive concerts to feed starving people over there. They never do that for us.
You know, Rob, I think you might have a bit of a point there.
I know. And Somalia is such a wonderful place. They just come over here and take from Americans and open hearing centers. So why in the hell would you want to go back to Africa?
Now that's a good point. Although if you do go to Africa, I'm told that the United States will wire you money. So if you're trying to get money,
that is true.
Hey, I mean that may be the move.
And honestly, as American citizens, as black people in America's inner cities, frequently you're overlooked, and the money's been going to illegal. So maybe you could do kind of a circuitous route by exporting yourself to Africa and then reapplying for government benefits from America over there.
You see, if only you wore a turban, you would be a very rich individual.
Oh my God, it's so wonderful. It's just so rich. It's a rich target. Garden of targets that are happening right now. And I, too, am optimistic about the future of the country. I'm optimistic about the midterms. We are in the throes of battle, don't get me wrong. But as I mentioned to the guys on the bus yesterday to and from Gettysburg, I said we are battle-hardened veterans. We're not battle-weary. We've been through 10 years of this, and we aren't going down anytime soon. So I'm optimistic, bro. You got to get to D.C. before the end of this year. I'm serious. You got to get here during the 250th, okay?
I'm planning on it, but
right.
don't tell anybody just yet. Moves are happening.
All right, good. We'll see you here. I do have a loft. Where can people check out your awesome podcast, bro?
YouTube.com/Daily Signal is where you'll find us this evening. It'll be fun or your money back.
Fun or your money back. All right, Tony. Talk to you soon, bro. Have a glorious weekend. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All right, kids. Hi, kids. How's it going? Man, we had a hell of a time. This weekend, yesterday, I should say, at Gettysburg. My God. Where's my power cord here? Hold on one second. I got to check something here. It says my power cord is low on my laptop. That's odd. Is it unplugged? Somebody unplugged my laptop? I'm going to have to check this out. Anyway, hi. We had a hell of a time in Gettysburg yesterday, and it was just something else. If you get a chance to come out this year to D.C., it is remarkable. Rita in Tennessee. Hello, Mean Sugar. Good to have you here. Not sure what you're talking about, but I'm just going to recognize you for your comments here. Kaka, never forget. Hi. God bless you too. Appreciate you. Let's move over to the Facebookage over here. Hi there, Jellyfish Hunter. Hello, Pranay Uberchat. Good to see you here. I just got a message from the Gettysburg Battlefield. My name is Tom, and this is the page for Gettysburg Battlefields 9. I'm not sure if you or Jim sent this message to us in error. No, I did not. Anyway, I'm trying to get a hold of this guy named Jim Miller, who did the tour yesterday, and get him on the air because he's amazing. Scarecrow, what's up? What's up, Scarecrow, over on there, Rumbly Roo, my Rumbly Roos, all you guys watching over there, Round of Pony, BFO5, you guys, good to see you. Met a few of you yesterday on the bus, and had many of your names mentioned by those who attended, those of you who are chiming in on the live stream. Time for me to talk.
Can I buy a little 3 minutes here?
This is a band called Gun, and it's a remake of Everyone's a Winner. Listen. It's a really nice cover. Really nice cover. So, I was trying to buy some of this Tesla SpaceX stock today. For some reason, I'm not able to do that right now. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, another investment that is easy to make is gold. Yeah, is precious metals, by the way, are precious metals. Buy gold and silver. Buy some gold, put silver in your pocket, I should say. Right now, Birch Gold is offering something real special, a special commemorative America 250 1-ounce silver round for every $10,000 you purchase by July 10th. 10 years ago, an ounce of gold was worth $1,200. Today, it's $4,500. Where will it be 10 years from now? Text Rob to 989898 to take advantage of free silver 250 with qualifying purchase. So, it's about diversifying. Like I said, I'm trying to get on the SpaceX stock, which I hear kind of open at about $155. But you also want some precious metals. You want to diversify. Diversify is what you need to do. And gold is a good way to do it. I've got a good, what I invested in my 401k from when I sold cars. Took every dime of it, put it into gold with Birch Gold, and I'm going to let it ride for probably about 10 years or so. And then, we'll take it from there. Text Rob to 989898. Take advantage of free Silver America 250 1-ounce silver round with qualifying purchase by July the 10th. Text Rob to 989898. For Birch Gold, here is Wesley Hunt talking about Carmelo Anthony, the murderer.
Austin Metcalf is dead. May he rest in peace. And he was stabbed to death by another person who is now going to spend over 30 years in prison, as deserved, because that's what we call murder in our society. Now, if you've noticed, I didn't mention anything about race. This is pretty an open shut case is the way I see it. But also keep in mind that Austin Metcalf is not going to have 35 years to live. If you really want to talk about this, the real victim is the kid that's never going to wake up again and his grieving family. Also, the fact that the left, and you talk about the woke mind virus, is willing to even bring up race in a situation is really disheartening to me. How about this? As a parent that has 3 children, I will ensure that you don't bring a knife to a track meet. You see, when you go to a track meet, it's just that. It's supposed to be competition. You're supposed
Yeah, and Carmelo Anthony's family are as filthy and awful as he is. He's going to rot in prison. I hope he stays there for 35 years, but even his mother doesn't give a crap about him. They took $650,000 for his legal defense fund and blew it on a house in an Escalade, and now he's destitute and in prison. That's how awful his family and his supporters are. Let's take a break and come back. Hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show on a Friday coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
You don't need to live with aches and pains. Visit relieffactor.com today.
to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. Welcome to hour number 2 of the show. Hour number 2 of the show. We've got a lot of stuff to get to. I believe we're going to have Mary Walter at the bottom of the hour to talk about a number of different things. Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf. I haven't spent a lot of time on the case because it's very clear that he was that Carmelo Anthony is a murderer, and that he's an awful human being, and he was found guilty rather quickly because he's a murderer. And then you've got this awful cabal of people who are, I mean, honestly, just demons from hell outside of the courthouse, threatening the Austin's family. The grieving family of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf is now receiving death threats and hateful messages on their personal phone numbers. Social media following the conviction of the and 35-year sentence handed down to Carmelo Anthony. They're literally taking pictures, urinating on Austin's grave, and you know what? Honestly, you are demonic. You are demonic and awful people using some sort of faux racism to defend a murderer. And one of the really awful things about this is that Carmelo Anthony's family, while their son supposedly they care about and are convinced that he was a victim, took $650,000 from online donations that were supposed to be for their son's defense and blew it all while he was in custody. They just blew it all. They just partied like it was 1999, and now they're acting, like all butthurt because they stole the money while their son was in jail, and now their son's going to be in jail for 35 years, hopefully every ounce of it. And they blew through the money because they're awful people who raised an awful child, and they blew through the money. Carmelo Anthony, the teen convicted of murdering a fellow Texas student, family raked in $625,000. $625. And then they just filed, Anthony describes himself as a penniless, destitute, and indigent person. Too poor to employ counsel to represent me on appeal. The teen's attorney, Mike Howard, said the defense has several important issues for the appellate courts to consider, and appeal is the next part of the process afforded to every American. Anthony seems to be angling for state-funded attorney for his appeal. The convict's claim of destitution, though it is hard to square with hundreds of thousands his family raised in the name ahead of the trial. The fundraiser on GiveSendGo stated the donations would go for Anthony's legal fees, but also claimed a portion would be used for the family's living and security expenses. The fundraising page was closed out after Anthony was convicted. More than $629,000 had been raised. Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, who's an awful woman who raised an awful son, told donors what they intended to do with the cash. This fundraiser had been established to provide comprehensive assistance to Anthony's family as they navigate the many challenges surrounding Carmelo's case. While legal defense is a part of the journey, we want to make it clear that this fund is not solely dedicated to legal expenses. So again, they partied. They just partied on the money. They spent it all. They bought an Escalade. They bought a hundreds of thousands of dollar house, and now their son's still in jail. And guess what? They're broke, and he's asking for a public defender. Isn't that kind of interesting how that happens? And of course, Jim Gossett did this with it, featuring the voice of Al Sharpton on the Rob Carson Show.
Carmelo raised $600,000, but he's busted.
Come on.
Says he needs a helping hand cause he's busted. Where did that defense fund go? Nobody seems to know. Someone went through a lot of dough cause he's busted.
Had a good time on
it. A public defender the family used, yet he's busted. The donors, they must feel abused, says he's busted. Convicted for murder, but raised lots of cash. It disappeared in a flash. Is Carmelo sitting on a stash and not busted? He needs a lawyer to appeal, but he's busted. Is this poverty for real? Can we trust it? Nobody knows where the money went. They can't account for a single cent. Not on a lawyer was it spent, yet he's busted.
There you go, there you go. Nice people. Just nice people, yeah. Carmelo Anthony's most outspoken supporter is arrested just hours after confronting a man and pointing in his face during a protest. Winston Jerome Parker, 27, taken into custody outside the courthouse on Tuesday for an outstanding warrant on a charge of unlawful carrying of a weapon. He's a scumbag piece of crap. Carmelo Anthony jurors fear for their lives as a disturbing trend explodes in retaliation for the verdict. There are growing fears for the Carmelo Anthony jurors amid a disturbing viral trend of agitators attacking people across the country, claiming they were part of the jury. Anyway, yeah, they're actually doing that. The verdict prompted fierce backlash from Anthony supporters who say he was discriminated against. No, he wasn't. He's a scumbag piece of crap. A new trend online has emerged. Anthony supporters approaching unsuspected people and accusing them of being on the jury. One video posted by an accuser in Jacksonville, Florida, showed a man on a bike confronting another person who appeared to be homeless. Sitting on the sidewalk, the cyclist said, "Hey, wasn't he on the jury selection?" Wow. I mean, what the worst people. My Lord. The family of Carmelo Anthony, just awful people who raised an awful son. I mean, unbelievable, unbelievable. And then there's this talk show host, Larry Reed, calling for black Americans to go back to Africa as a solution to America's white people problem after the Carmelo Anthony murder sentence. This guy, I mean, honestly, raise your fist and march around. It's like the Black Panthers 1967 again. This guy is so dated, so antiquated in his thought, and so full of crap. It's just ridiculous. I had to play some of this guy because he's such a buffoon, and you know, it's such a tiny proportion of the people in the country, let alone people of color in this country, who would support such a thing. We are in mixed marriages. We work together. We love one another. We adopt each other's children. It has been 170 years since slavery. All of this is just falderall and stupidity, and nobody in their right mind wants to go and live in Africa again, because most of it is just such a crap hole. Honestly, most of it is just an absolute crap hole. See Burkina Faso, all right? See Somalia, for God's sake. But here's this Larry Reed. He's saying he wants black people to go back to Africa. Have you asked any of the countries in Africa if they want you? You have no connection to Africa whatsoever unless there's some sort of a DNA test that shows a distant lineage that ended hundreds of years ago, and so you're going to move to a strange place with no job, no ability to support you, no visa, and they're just going to take you Americans back into Africa. It'd be like me going back to, Germany, Ireland, and England, and just saying, yeah, hey, man, I know that my ancestors came here after the 1900, but I want to come back and live here because, whatever injustices, honestly, wow. But here is this moron, Larry Reed.
And I want you to begin to think about this America.
Now, do you suppose that, let me just ask you this question. How many people of color are going to take him up on this offer and go to Africa and return to Africa? Okay. Remember a couple weeks ago when Hakeem Jeffries got up there with the NAACP, as Rush used to say, the National Association for the Advancement of Liberal Colored Democrats. Remember that? And he said to all of the SEC athletes, all the black athletes who go to SEC schools and have scholarships and possible career, he said, you have got to quit your sport to support us because the SCOTUS decision against racial gerrymandering. Remember when he said that? And he got up there and he looked like a moron. He said, we want all these black athletes to follow the NAACP, an organization is just dated. The name is dated. It's so hopelessly dated that nobody in Gen Z in their right mind would ever say, oh, yeah, I want to follow the NAACP and give up my SEC career. After all of the rigmarole associated with that, how many athletes walked away from the SEC for Hakeem Jeffries and the NAACP? Zero. How many people are going to leave and go back to Africa because Kamala Harris, Carmelo Anthony murdered a guy?
And the white people problem that we have.
We got a white people problem. I didn't even know about it.
I'm going to make a statement.
That's because you got white privilege. Shut up.
We know that Martin Luther King, the beginning of his work was all about integration.
Yes,
we do know that later on that did change.
Yeah,
integration has had great benefits.
Yeah.
I think now, unless you must stay in America, unless you are supposed to be in the USA. Otherwise,
you're an American citizen. It's probably going to be hard to just pick up and move back to Africa and tell the guys in Nigeria, hey, I'm back. I know I never lived here, and my ancestors, maybe a part of my DNA came from here, but we're moving back. So where's the house, and where's the free stuff like you get when you come to America?
If you're black, integration has had great benefits.
With free health care? Can we get a hotel stay or anything?
I'm telling you.
I want to open a Leering Center.
I'm saying this as a collective. Let's drain this place of its benefit and make our mass exodus and go home and build.
Wow, nobody is going to follow him.
I repeat, integration has had great benefits. Black people.
What's the opposite of integration? Disintegration. That's what this guy is doing.
For some of us, let's drain this place of its benefits.
All right, go ahead.
And make our mass exodus. And go home and build.
Man, you better, honestly, you better listen to what he says, because it's going to really kill our economy for nobody leaving, because nobody's going to leave and follow this idiot. And here he is claiming that, sub-Saharan Africa is the land of milk and honey compared to the most prosperous engine of individual and economic freedom and prosperity in the history of mankind.
Let's drain this place.
Drain the place.
This benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build.
Come on, everybody. We're going to a home we've never known, and we're just going to move in and don't even speak the language.
This land ain't rich enough to hold who you are. You come from a land that flows with milk and honey.
Why do every once in a while we have to have big old concerts to feed all the starving people over there then?
Poured you out of that land ancestrally and brought you to a place to where your royalty was not
Ethiopia, not exactly known for milk and honey.
Recognized. You
bags of rice from the United Nations.
Your black power, your black mysticism, your African
your black mysticism. What the hell is that about?
Spirituality and your physiological superiority.
Well, that sounds kind of racist.
To build this country and give everybody reparations except you. Don't believe that America don't give reparations. They do. To the tune of billions.
Yeah, there you
go. Just never gave it to us.
No, I never gave it to you. I didn't get any representation. I had to work for $3.35 from the age of 14 to the age of 23, and then I worked in fields starting at 10 years old until I was about 23, so I don't think I ever got my reparations. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey, guys, it's Rob Carson with another great deal from Birch Gold. Buy
deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here. Deported. 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 Get them out. Ready? Are you ready? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Rejoin.
One thing I would like to see updated is the word homeless to the word unhoused.
How about new?
Moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
That's right.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics.
Now, this is a national politician, Hakeem Jeffries, just a couple weeks ago, asking for SEC student athletes to quit to support the NAACP because they're protesting a Supreme Court decision getting rid of racially gerrymandered districts. And guess what? Nobody left. So if I were Hakeem Jeffries, I don't think he's this self-aware. I'd be just embarrassed and ashamed because you look like such a frickin' moron. Nobody was going to follow you, and nobody did. So now you're just looking like a moron. And this is like this Larry Reid calling for black Americans to go back to Africa because Carmelo Anthony is a murderer. That's just so fantastic. Oh, my God. It's just so fantastic. It's just wonderful. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to some others. Oh, this is kind of funny. Democrat lawmaker bizarrely claims black Americans will stop voting if they don't get reparations. Representative Summer Lee from Pennsylvania said during an interview on Sunday that black Americans would stop voting if they weren't given reparations. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. If you're not given reparations, we'll just not vote anymore. This is kind of stupid. She said she slammed President Donald Trump's anti-weaponization fund. They are playing psychological warfare, and that's what they want to do because, again, they're trying to disenfranchise you. No, you're not at all. Because if you believe that you're never going to get reparations from the system, then tap out, and you just tap out of the conversation. You tap out of the system. You don't want to vote anymore. You don't participate anymore. So if you don't get reparations, you're just going to take your ball and go home. So that's the big thing right now. Some Democrats, because they are losing the black vote and they are losing support among black people because the party is such a mess and everything they say is wrong and they've never done anything good for the black community since Lyndon Baines Johnson and the Great Society, that the last dying throes of this is we want reparations. This is Al Green. He's no longer going to be in Congress and he's demanding reparations.
Not enough. We have to have reparations.
We're not getting that.
And I have a piece of legislation that calls for a Department of Reconciliation.
Yeah, they're like $14 trillion.
There can be no reconciliation without reparative justice.
Right. And here's an idea. Open one of those online fundraisers. Call it Go Fund Yourself.
There can be no reparations without reparative justice. And to have reparative justice, you've got to have...
Yeah, well, you know what? Your problems right now are your problems, and they weren't caused by somebody who died 170 years ago.
The thing that we call what? Truth? No, the money.
Oh, the money. Oh, yeah, the money.
You got to have the money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta have the money. Yeah.
To establish a federal commission to develop reparations proposals for descendants of enslaved Africans.
Ayanna says pay reparations.
Government check. That always works.
You're a slave you never owned.
It's Jim Gossett, by the way. Yeah.
We should get at least 1 million. Call it a forgiven loan. Hey, reparations. It's time to atone.
Nah, I have nothing to atone for.
All in all, I could be taken in a big hall.
My ancestors came after 1900.
You must pay us reparations.
No, it's a ridiculous idea. Absolutely ridiculous. It's also the sign of a dying party. It's a last-ditch effort. The Democrat Party, what they do with people of color is they promise you the sun, the moon, and the stars before the election. The election happens. They get up, leave some money on a dresser. They're not doing that anymore. And so this is the latest thing. And they're going to go really hard on this idea of reparations because it's the last dying throes of the Democrat Party trying to keep people of color on their camp, even though they've done nothing to make their lives better. Every one of these gerrymandered districts have poverty, crime, absolutely terrible schools, grievance, and, of course, a Planned Parenthood on a street named after a civil rights leader. That's what your Democrat Party has given you. This is why they're now promising reparations once again. Not going to work. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Relief Factor. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those words weren't written for history books. They were written for you. But it's hard to pursue happiness when pain is a part of your everyday life. Relief Factor was created to help people address inflammation, one of the most common causes of ongoing aches and pains from aging, overexertion, and daily living. It's a 100% drug-free, research-based formula that works through multiple metabolic pathways to support comfort and mobility. No prescription, no masking symptoms, just real relief so you can keep moving forward. I work out every other day, I crush it at the gym, and I ride my bike 100 miles on the weekend. I credit Relief Factor for making all of those activities pain-free. And as America celebrates 250 years of independence, give yourself a chance to reclaim yours. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah. So you can pursue your happiness being pain-free. Your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF. Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support. Less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. With financing, some Ghost Beds come out to around $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
But there's something about Mary that they don't know. Mary. There's just something about Mary.
Yes, there is. We haven't been able to figure it out, but we're working on it. She joins us on the Newsmax hotline. Mary Walter, how are you?
Happy Friday.
This is what everybody says. They go, there's something about her. I don't know what it is. It's kind of weird. It's kind of frightening, actually. So let's talk. We got a lot of stuff to get to on the show. I want to talk a little bit about James Talarico, because while Graham Plattner has been grabbing on the headlines, James Talarico is trying to be reinvented, from the vegan man who his girlfriend met at a gay bar. Tell me why that happened. Guy who believes there are 6 genders and God is non-binary. Here is Jen Psaki trying to explain away his lack of masculinity.
You can tell us, but Ted Cruz basically. I mean, I loved that. It was a great play. But Ted Cruz basically said he wouldn't use the word masculine to describe you. It seems pretty clear what they're trying to do here, at least to me. Not only are they going after you, but they're really trying to attack groups of people you've defended in the past, including trans people and others. What do you make of that?
Every Saturday morning, Mark Talarico would mow our lawn.
Yeah.
Whether it was rain or shine, whether he wanted to or not, he insisted on mowing our lawn himself.
Guys do that.
And then without anyone asking him to, he would go next door and mow our neighbor's lawn.
I did that too.
Because our neighbor was elderly. She was a widow.
Yeah.
And my dad never talked about it.
Okay.
He just did it.
Yeah, that's great.
Because that's what a man does. A man takes responsibility. Okay. A man upholds his commitments to his family and his neighbors. A man does what's right even when no one is watching. And here's what real men don't do.
What?
They don't lie and cheat their way through life. They don't sell their soul to the highest bidder.
Okay.
They don't steal from other people in order to enrich themselves. And so I've said before, and I will keep saying, that real men serve others. Weak men serve themselves.
Wow, I mean, what a non-answer. It's very clear he's not a manly man. He's not a masculine man. And honestly, they're trying to reinvent him. They're trying to what they're trying to do is they're trying to change the definition of masculinity. What are your thoughts, Mary?
Well, I don't understand how they can change the definition of masculinity if they don't know what a man is. If they think men can be women, how can they be defining what masculinity is? It makes no sense whatsoever. They become very good at using a lot of words to not say anything.
Yes.
But they use words that make them sound like it's and people just shake their head. Yes, yes, yes. Like Kamala Harris with a Venn diagram. Well, the wheels on the bus, they go round and round. And then you're like, yes, they do. My God, she's an engineer, right? So that's what they're doing here.
Yes.
He used to mow the lawn. We all did when I was a kid. We had to take turns. I mowed the lawn, too. Big deal.
Yeah,
Big
exactly.
deal. We had like 2 acres. So I don't
his big story about his dad is that his dad mowed the lawn. Really? It's just hilarious.
And that's not even him. It's his dad, not even him.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I would never run that. I'd never mow the lawn. I mean, I'm sorry, Jen. I would definitely, my dad, when he was mowing the lawn and he was masculine, I would bring him a beer. What the hell? I don't even know. And then
men have just because gay men, there's not a gay man alive who has a straight father, right? Like, so because his father was masculine, it means he's not gay. What is happening?
I don't know. But on the other side, you've got Graham Plattner. He was asked about masculinity, and all he said is, I lift weights and I have a truck. And that's not being a man either. And either one of these guys are not good examples of men, and certainly not masculinity.
No. This is the problem the Democrats have. They know they have a man problem, so they tried to cure that by trotting out white men for Harris. And we remember how that went?
Yes.
Remember? So they started by trying. The problem is Democrats, because they can't define what a man or a woman is, and I think in the back of their minds there's like an alarm bell going off. No, that guy is 6'4". He has a beard and a mustache, and he wants you to call him Tiffany, right? And so in the back of their brains, they know deep down inside that makes no sense whatsoever, right? So they, in their attempt to make the reality, what they see, make reality conform to what they are, they think it is. they have this existential crisis that they don't know what anything is anymore. They don't truly know what a man is. So to your point, they tried out Graham Plattner. Like, we found one. We're like, he's a Nazi. Yes, but he's very masculine.
Oh.
We're like, okay, he cheats on his wife, and he basically, according to one woman, kidnapped her, held her against her will.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she, because they would call that, last time I checked, toxic masculinity, right?
You know, and I think what it is, Mary, is that the Democrat Party cannot get a good and decent man to be a candidate. And I do mean that. I mean a good and decent, strong man, because anything that the Democrat Party stands for right now is the opposite of that. If you believe boys can become girls and compete in girls' sports, all of this nonsense and all of this LGBTQRSTU nonsense, you can't be a real man, father in good standing. You've got to be some sort of a radical, indoctrinated intellectual. And those are the only people they can get.
Exactly. They can only get the soy boys, right?
Yes.
Because their women are more masculine than they are.
Yes.
It's the world turned upside down for them.
Yeah.
And I think some of them are starting to realize that none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
But yet there's a group of them who sit there and applaud because Kamala Harris says the wheels on the bus go round and round, and that sounds very important.
Yes. Now, see the congressional baseball game if you need an example of soy boys versus real men. I mean, what a spanking that was. Dear God, did you see Eric Schmidt from Missouri?
Yes.
Dude, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to walk for a week. And he's pushing it as far as age and diving for baseballs, by the way.
He messed up his face and everything. He went for it.
I know.
He went for it. But see, this is again, I'm surprised Democrats even fielded a team, because it's probably, they're not allowed to have, well, you can have women on the team, but it's probably considered toxic because it's a sport and people get hurt.
Well, if they did a congressional women's softball game, then some of the guys could pretend to be women and play on the team.
Very true. Very true. But even that, I doubt would even happen, because the women on the left are very old.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, could you imagine? What's her name? The purple-haired one from, to her trying to.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
Witchy Poo.
Yeah. She wouldn't be.
Witchy Poo
from HR Puff and stuff.
Yes. She does. And it's unfortunate, and I feel bad. I don't like to criticize people's looks, because she can't help it. That's what God gave her. But she didn't have to make it worse by dyeing her hair purple.
Oh, yeah,
That's
she
all.
really pointed out
the
the bad stuff. Now, on the other side of the break, you had mentioned a piece from the Bulwark, the gravest insult to the MAGA womanosphere. That's coming up. I've got a couple things I want to throw at you, too, as well, Mary Walter. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. A little early. Hey guys, it's Rob Carr. Dig it.
Poor little Democrats. Are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. Would you guys shut up and let him work?
God is non-binary. Trans children are God's children, made in God's own image. Modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than two biological sexes. In fact, there are 6. Did they teach you in Sunday school that Jesus Christ himself was a radical feminist?
And you wonder why at the congressional baseball game, the Republicans once again killed the Democrats 11-2. Unreal. That's the best they have to offer right there. That's Mary, who would find that attractive?
A very assertive, well, no, I don't know. What are they? Are they beta girls? Or are they, because he has a girlfriend, right? Like, I don't know what they are. I don't know what to call them.
I don't know. I honestly don't. But I'm glad that masculinity is making a comeback. You had sent me this, and I read this piece in the Bulwark, the greatest insult to the MAGA womanosphere. Tell me about what you thought about this piece.
So they say the greatest insult to a MAGA woman is to call her husband or boyfriend gay.
Okay.
Which is hilarious.
Yes. Now, we all know that gay men never marry heterosexual women, right?
Well, it's interesting. And I'm from the People's Socialist Republic of New Jersey, and I think we all remember Jim, I am a gay American McGreevy, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, when I was in college, I had a college professor who used to hit on me all the time, and he had a wife and 2 daughters. And then I had friends where the husband, they had 2 daughters, and they were married, and all of his friends were in theater. Oh, my God, stop it. It was like, okay, whatever.
Well, Rob, Rob, guys like you sometimes are just irresistible to both genders.
Well, I can't help it. I'm just who God made me, Mary.
When you got it, Rob. You just got to admit it. So it's a burden you bear.
Now, in this piece, you're talking about a MAGA woman and is engaged, I guess, to a guy who appears to be rather effeminate. And go ahead. Continue your thoughts on this.
No. I'm just saying yes. And so the worst thing you can do is point out the fact that the fiancé appears to be effeminate.
Yes.
That is like the ultimate insult. But listen, I do know some women. Well, to your point, my old dermatologist was married and had 3 kids, and I would come home and tell my husband, because my husband's a physician, I said to him, I go, doctor, he goes, yeah, I'm like, he's gay, right? And my husband's like, but he's got a wife and 3 kids. I'm like, and? And I'm like, and you know what happened?
What?
And his wife was beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, I know what happened.
You know what happened?
Yeah, he left.
Exactly. We all know what happened.
Of course.
I'm out of the closet singing show tunes. Yeah. And he's got a boyfriend. And, divorces the wife. He's got a boyfriend, and has just let it all hang out. We're just like they were like over the top now.
I mean, it's obviously you could have masculine gay guys, you can have effeminate gay guys, you can have masculine lesbians, or you can have effeminate lesbians. They're living a lie. But that's
no, wait. Feminine lesbians are just male fantasy lesbians, okay? That's all that is. That is something created by Hollywood for men.
That is true,
That's just because men run Hollywood, and it's just to fulfill your fantasies. All right, so that's number one.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can, and masculine gay guys are called bears, okay? Because they're not the ones with the great bodies.
Gotcha.
They're the ones who, who are a little bit chubby. And
hairy, I'm assuming, right?
Or anything like that.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha. It is interesting because listen, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever. Who the hell cares? Bisexual, by the way, just means promiscuous. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Bisexual means you'll sleep with anybody. I'm not afraid to say that now. It's not like choose a team. It's you'll sleep with anybody. That's what bisexual means.
Listen, bisexuals are the people who order surf and turf when you go to a restaurant because they can't make up their mind.
So let's talk about some other things here. This is kind of interesting. Would you get in one of those self-driving taxis?
Hell to the no.
What? Really?
You haven't seen the stories where the car, gets in an accident, and so you can't get out of the car.
Yeah.
You haven't seen those?
Yeah.
Right? So you can't get out of the car because the car's in an accident. Or when they get, you saw the one where they had the 4 cars, the 4 Waymos at an intersection, and there was no traffic light. It was just a stop, and so they all just sat there, and you're stuck. No. Hell no.
You know what? That's like being at a 4-way stop in Minnesota. Because, it used to be anyway. If you get 4 Minnesotans at a 4-way stop, they will die in their cars out of courtesy to allow the other person to go. They will. They found skeletons filled in 4-way stops with Minnesotans who were too polite to go.
That's really funny.
Meanwhile, in New York, that never happens. But in where was this? In Horrified Couple, the Waymo apparently was afraid of the police. So this couple, San Francisco, the Waymo car, the police decided to go after this vehicle, and the vehicle apparently recognized the police car had done something in its past, and took off in high-speed pursuit. The police in high-speed pursuit, and they said, "That's it, we're dead. We're going to die here in this car." But the car ran from the police, Mary.
That is the wildest. Who programmed that? Do you think there's programmers that are just totally messing with this stuff just to see every now and then okay, we're gonna make this one flip.
No. Here on the Carfax it says it was owned by a BLM member.
Well, then it's okay. Then it's okay because they were afraid. So it's fine. That's no harm, no foul.
Unbelievable. Listen, I think the self-driving car thing is amazing. I think what Elon Musk is doing, by the way, I tried to buy some of that damn stock today, and E-Trade won't let me do it for some stupid reason. That said, it's going to revolutionize how people with disabilities, how blind, how the deaf can travel and become more obviously less dependent. So I think it's fantastic. It's also going to put to bed the DUI industrial complex, and a lot of lives will be saved as well. But I do understand your reticence when your Waymo car might run from the police.
Listen, I'd rather my Uber comes and the guy doesn't speak a lick of English. Last driver I had he just put it into the Waze, and that's how he was going. And so I said to him, I go, well, you can make a right here, and it's shorter, and you can make a left, and then you come right into the, and he just looked at me. He spoke Chinese. He didn't speak a lick of English at all. And I sat here and I thought to myself, if we, for whatever reason, get in an accident or something happens or I'm having a medical emergency, he's taking me wherever I'm supposed to. He is not stopping because he can't understand a word I'm saying.
I know. That was one of the biggest laugh lines yesterday. On the tour buses from to and from Gettysburg that I was on, I announced the bus driver, and I said, our bus driver speaks English and can read the road signs, and the crowd went nuts.
Well, good to see you're keeping the bar low with your tourism, your new tourism venture.
Whenever I do, in front of an audience, I keep the bar very low. You should know that, Mary. Mary,
front of an audience?
Where can everybody find your glorious work online and on TV?
Okay. Follow me on X at Mary Walter Radio. That's where I post all of my Newsmax hits. Tomorrow, 12:30, I will be on Newsmax with Rita Cosby. My live cast is on Tuesday evening, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. This week, we're having Dr. Carol Lieberman, the terrorist therapist, will be on with us.
All right, I love it, Mary. Have a glorious weekend. We'll talk soon, okay?
Bye, honey. Have a good weekend.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. The car ran from the police. What color do you suppose the car was? Wasn't blue. Hello, Dookie Bear. You two crack me up. I know. She's a blast. She's really fun. A lot of people on the tour yesterday talked about the talks that Mary and I have on Fridays. They really enjoy them, and they are funny. They are very fun. We have great chemistry. And the reason why I have her on is because of that back and forth and the way she gives it right back to me. That's why I have her on. And people do dig it. People do dig it. Let's see. Scott Davies, hello. 21 shootings, $3 fatalities. I don't know what that is all about. Hello, Gary McGovern. What's going on, man? You guys having a good weekend? You got to have a good weekend? I'm going to have a good weekend. I'm going to be spending it with my kids. Going to be going downtown tonight. Going to be going tomorrow to see Tall Ships on the Potomac. Tall ships are in town. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the old tall ships. What do I got here? Oh, this is funny. Oh, talk about... I got some funny stuff coming up. Sorry, I got to get ready for the next break. Christian Toto next hour. Got some good stuff for him, too. I found a show, by the way. I found a new show on TV. It's called Widow's Bay. Have you seen Widow's Bay? It is fantastic show. I think it's Paramount Plus. Unbelievable. I'm going to share that coming up. Widow's Bay. It is the Rob Carson Show. Coming up, next hour, we're going to talk to Christian Toto, Hollywood in Toto. And Apple TV has got a new series that I discovered. My kids are in town, so I'm back to binge watching a little TV. I normally don't do that because, I sit by myself at night in my living room with nobody else. And it's kind of weird to binge watch television by yourself, you see. So, there's that. It's called Widow's Bay, and it is on Apple TV. Oh, my God, it's so good. It's like Northern Exposure meets The Shining. Brilliant, funny, and terrifying. There's at least one scare that will make you pee your pants. It's unbelievable. It is a brilliant show. I'm through 5 episodes of it. Wasn't as crazy about the flashback episode to the 1600s, but the first 4 episodes, phenomenal. The sea hag, oh my God. The scary clown, oh my God. The what the hell? Oh, the party, the cocktail party. Oh, it's like Rod Serling meets, I don't even know, Jerry Seinfeld. It's called Widow's Bay. I love it. I think it's absolutely excellent. Well cast, really well cast. And again, my kids told me, they're like, Dad, there's going to be times that it's one episode, during an episode, there's going to be one time where you are scared witless, and that is what happened. But it's not a bad thing. I don't like the horror genre. I don't like gore. It's not gory. There's no gore. There's nothing like that. It's just classic Twilight Zone. I don't even know, Stephen King's Cat's Eye meets like Northern Exposure. It's just good. It's just good TV. And again, I would never discover this on my own because I sit by myself and watch television by myself, and I would never watch television like that. So anyway, we've got a whole bunch more coming up. An update on the judge in Atlanta who was having sex in her chambers. We've got some very funny audio for that. We've got some more Plattner news, among other things. And again, Christian Toto, final hour of the Rob Carson Show on a Friday. Do not go anywhere.
You don't need
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
And by the grace of God, it is finally Friday. What a week it has been. It's hot. It's hot where I live, in the 90s and whatnot. Yesterday, went to Gettysburg with listeners. It was the first time that I'd been to the Gettysburg Visitors Center, and it's called a cyclorama. And it's this massive painting that was done. It took 11 months and dozens of people to do it, and it's absolutely stunning. And they made it into a 40-foot high circle around you, and it's a theater. And then at the base of it, they've done landscaping to make it look like the battlefield, like with wagon wheels and I don't know, fencing and all the things that you saw. So it looks like the landscape of Gettysburg, and then it becomes the painting, and then the painting. And I posted on Facebook yesterday at Rob Carson Show, if you want to see it. I've been so bloody busy, I haven't been able to post all the photos on Twitter and whatnot, but it was something else. And if you haven't been in a while, it was better than I could have ever imagined. The last time I was there was like 2006. So I had a kid and a toddler. I had a baby and a 6-year-old. So I don't think I was able to take it all in like I was, but yesterday I was, and yesterday we had a guy named Jim Miller who was a storyteller on the bus with us, and this guy was just brilliant. I'm trying to reach out to him today, and I'm not going to, I would refer to the opening monologue today on today's show if you want to hear about the defense of Little Round Top and how unbelievable the story is. Go to your usual podcast platforms, look up Rob Carson Show, listen to the opening monologue about this, and I'll just in a quick recap. Union Colonel Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain told his men, fix bayonets. They had no ammunition. They had no bullets. And he said, we have to charge the Confederates. The Confederates had been waylaying them on Little Round Top. And it's this rocky hill with kind of volcanic rock sticking out, and whatnot. And so they fixed their bayonets knowing that they were going to die. They were going to die. There was no chance that they could make it down that hill to take out the Confederates with no ammunition. And so they prayed aloud. They shouted their prayers at God in heaven as they ran down that hill towards the Confederates. And they were so loud in their prayers, asking for God to accept them into his arms or to save them, one or the other, that they couldn't hear the commanding officers. All you could hear was them coming down that hill, praying out loud, and the Confederates retreated. The well-armed Confederates retreated. How does that happen unless it is a godly act? I'm going to get Jim Miller, if I can, to tell this story like he did to our group yesterday. Because it was this man, you should have seen him. Older gentleman, white beard, hat on, and he just talked nonstop for an hour and a half, just stopped nonstop like this, constantly this, and he'd close his eyes, and he had memorized the words of these soldiers as they shared them in their journals and when they were interviewed, and he channeled them. It was an extraordinary visit. Everybody on this bus were enraptured by this man, Jim Miller's words, and he would just close his eyes and disappear into the story. He talked about the war horse. There was this war horse that was shot 14 times, and this old horse survived, lived longer than General Lee, this horse. It was, oh my gosh, I wish I could relay it to you. Listen to the full monologue first hour of the show. It was something else. And by the way, I do believe we still have a few seats left for the big trip coming up in October 25th through the 9th with tours and travel. And I'm telling you, if you've been watching all the stories about the reflecting pool and all of this, you will know that this is the time to come to D.C. So go to travelwithrob.net, travelwithrob.net. I know you're being tempted by coming out here. I'm going to be going to the reflecting pool tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to do a quick Instagram broadcast from the reflecting pool. It's unofficial. It's not a sanctioned event. It's just me going down there. I want to see the dang thing. So come down. In the meantime, you know, we got to do something. We got to do Who Caught the Stupid update. Yeah.
Stupid. People. Just plain stupid.
Stupid as stupid does, Miss Blue.
Who got the stupid?
So you know what elites say? You know what Democrats say? You know what the left always says? They say, make the rich pay their fair share. Make those who are well off pay more because it's fair. It's only fair. It's only fair. But not when it comes to their Washington Post subscription. Listen, who the hell reads the Washington Post? Who still reads the Washington Post? Did you know they built this bridge, the Woodrow Wilson Bridge? He was a piece of crap president. He was a socialist, and they built the bridge for him. And it's a drawbridge. Did you know that? They spent hundreds of millions of dollars on a drawbridge since I left D.C. and came back, and it's named after Woodrow Wilson. You know why they named it? They made it into a drawbridge. Are you ready for this? Because the Washington Post is right upriver, and they bring these barges with these big rolls of paper on them, and they won't fit under the bridge. So they made the dang thing a drawbridge for the Washington Post. At least that's the story that I heard, and it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. If you want to argue with me or whatever, send me a note. But that's what I heard. The Washington Post faces a class action lawsuit filed in the D.C. Superior Court on Thursday after Legacy Paper's recent use of reader data to set subscription prices, a practice referred to as surveillance pricing. The proposed class of readers argue in the suit the Washington Post turns its audience reading habits into a pricing profile based on demographics, their activities, and whatnot. And this would include socioeconomic status, because you're looking at all sorts of things like what you buy and whatnot. Surveillance pricing since at least December 2024, in which not a single subscriber was aware of the Post surveillance pricing or secret harvesting of subscriber data. The law does not allow this contact. State attorneys general across the country, along with the Federal Trade Commission, have begun investigating companies that engage in surveillance pricing using consumers' personal information instead of market forces to set individual prices. So basically what they were doing is they were finding upper-class people who made a little bit more money and charging them more, which, if I'm not mistaken, Zohran Mamdani is cool with. And so I didn't say Cool Whip, I said Cool With. They're completely different things. Cool Whip is a dessert topping that I used to eat right out of the freezer. I know, it isn't even food. And Hakeem Jeffries is also kind of a creation of toxic chemicals that you don't want to ingest. That said, he's cool with it. All the Democrats would be cool with this. If you have more money, you should give more. Bernie Sanders, he should be completely cool with this. So the Post had to disclose a surveillance policy in which New York required companies to set prices using algorithms, not algorithms, based on consumer personal data to do so. The class action includes several reactions from subscribers who were outraged by the revolution. They call it, listen to this, they call it price gouging essentially. Paying a penny for the Washington Post is price gouging. Paying for the Washington Post is price gouging. Who would want to buy that piece of crap? That said, outraged by the reaction, one customer comparing the scheme to a grocery store charging two customers different prices for a loaf of bread, with the only difference being their browsing habits. That sense of unfairness became even more powerful when customers compared notes on their pricing publicly. One frustrated user described seeing a renewal jump from $170 to $260. My God, you're spending $260 to read the Washington Post. You won't miss it. If you've got that kind of money to spend that kind of money on something that stupid, honestly, what are you complaining about? Canceled in response, then later clicked to an article and was shown a new subscription offer, again referencing the older, lower annual price. Another person immediately got asked, why was yours $170 originally? I managed to get it for $60. for $60. So they had this policy which allowed the company to gather subscriber information, analyze their cookies. I know. And browsing history and compile comprehensive profile of the users. But apparently, Democrats who read this paper, who think that rich people should pay their fair share, have a real problem with rich people paying a little bit more for their newspaper.
Stupid people. Just plain stupid.
Stupid is stupid does, Miss Blue.
Who got stupid?
And again, if you pay anything for the
stupid to have a good time.
if you pay anything to get the Washington Post, you're bordering on stupid. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
WCBM.
Boom, boom, rejoin.
Do a little bit.
government strikes in Mexico to stop drugs. It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. How, 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 how. That's one of my favorites. Big Head Todd and the Monsters doing boom, boom, boom. There you go. John Lee Hooker song from way back. I'm kind of a music guy. In case you didn't notice it. We have a phone call on the line. Alice from Catonsville, who happened to be on the Gettysburg trip yesterday. Alex, I said you, Alex. Alice, welcome to the Rob Carson Show. What's up today?
Oh, my gosh. Well, we've been really busy around here because I'm trying to move furniture and stuff. But yesterday was wonderful.
Yeah.
I had to call, and I had to thank you so much for arranging that trip. It was more than touching. It was amazing, and it was heartfelt.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to go yesterday. It was amazing.
Now, Alice,
and
did you get a chance to see Jim Miller, the guy who was the tour guide, or were you on that bus?
I was actually on bus.
You were on the other bus. But I tell you, I recalled talking to you and your husband yesterday, and I looked over and I saw after the cyclorama and after the film that there were several people who were in tears over this. I mean, literally broke it up over something that happened 170 years ago.
I was sobbing. Yeah, it was hard.
And I'll tell you, in our 250th year of our birth, in a time that we have so much wealth of riches, it's embarrassing compared to what those men and what I think was real yesterday. We're patriotic people celebrating the 250th year, but recognizing how ungodly hot it was yesterday, and thinking of the young men wearing wool starving and going without water.
That almost the entire time. I kept thinking about that, especially because I have 5 boys and I have 2 girls, and I cannot imagine how horrific it would be to have your sons out there on that battlefield doing that. And it was overwhelming. And as a mother, it just, you want to run out onto that battlefield and tell them to cut it out.
I know. It was, if you could have heard the Jim Miller conversation, there were some things he made so real. He talked about how there was this, they made like 160 field hospitals, and they were amputating limbs for months. They were amputating limbs for months, and there was this hospital where there was a 9-foot pile of limbs that had been severed, and they had children, a young girl, 13, who became a nurse effectively, disposing of the limbs.
They had to bury them.
We can't even imagine the horrors, and we have to be reminded. We have to be reminded of this, Alice, because you've got so many kids now who can order Uber Eats, and they be in line about everything, and they've been through nothing. So
agreed, and I have to also give a shout out to Robin and Patricia, who came all the way from North Carolina. They were lovely.
Yeah,
I was so happy to meet them.
Yeah.
And there was Bob and Ray. I think they were in your bus too. And they were just so much. And Bob gave the most beautiful prayer
at lunch.
Grace on the lunch. Yes.
Yeah.
It was such a great experience, Rob, and I have to thank you for doing it, hon.
All right.
It was wonderful.
Alice, I appreciate you. Have a glorious day. Appreciate you. We're going to do more stuff like this, and again, we got that trip coming up in the fall, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. There was a thing about the crowd yesterday. Everybody there is proud of America, and not enough with this nonsense, this ridiculous nonsense from the left. Hating on America during our 250th year, hating on America. It is, I'm just done with it. I'm done with it, to be quite honest. Done with it. If you don't want to come to the party, screw you. 7 Democrat states are not coming to they're doing all the states fair here. 7 Democrat-run states are not going to participate because Donald Trump is the president. Screw them! We didn't want you there anyway. All you do is make things foul. All you do is stink things up. Don't come. Don't come to the party. If you do not love your country enough to attend, regardless of who the president is, screw you. Honestly, don't come. You would have made it suck. Sex, Lies, and Secrets, federal judge Trisco public. You heard about this? Judge Eleanor Ross' career and caseload under scrutiny. For years, Judge Eleanor Ross secretly was passed down from law clerk to law clerk. They whispered about the sultry jazz music that imitated from her chambers when an uniformed police officer, a man they called her visitor, disappeared into her private office. The clerks would sometimes hear the unmistakable sounds of sex from behind the door. They chalked it up as one of the burdens of working for Judge Ross, who routinely stamped their draft orders and added little else before issuing them as rulings. She was going through the motions. Bow, chicka, bow. One day last year, a clerk finally had enough and reported her. The complaint led to a month-long judicial investigation that involved courthouse interviews and the seizure of a beige office couch cushion that was tested for bodily fluids. Oh, that's just nice. That is nice. Did you hear the audio last week? This is one of the clerks recording her outside the chambers last year. This is actually real. Yeah. She was nominated to the bench in 2014 by Barack Obama. The report from the Judicial Committee documented Judge Ross' year-long affair with a high-ranking police officer. Also concluded that she had improperly attended a campaign event for an unnamed district attorney. This was pretty much hell for the people who clerked in her office. Her office was the 17th floor of the federal courthouse with 2 couches, a meeting table, and windows that overlooked the Atlanta Falcons Stadium. Among the decor in her chambers was a picture of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg with a quote from Beyonce and Drake song, and the quote is, "All them fives need to listen when a 10 is talking." Apparently, the officer must have thought it was the clerks told the Times that their stomachs churned when they realized what was taking place, but coupled with their actions, it also represented something fundamentally painful to them, that a person with a role they revered, a person whose job it was to decide American laws, seemed not to care the way they cared. So basically, she's a filthy, rotten, awful person. They actually did an interview with the police officer. He was questioned about what happened.
You had sex with her every time you met, didn't you? Didn't you? Liar!
He's badgering the witness.
It's his witness.
You slammed her, you dumped her donut, you gave her dog a sausage, you stuffed her like a Thanksgiving turkey.
All right, it's true, okay?
There you go. That's the actual audio of the police officer in closed-door testimony. Or it could be a Jim Carrey movie. That said, coming up on the other side of the break, we've got Christian Toto. I'm going to talk a little bit, obviously, about this the show that I'm kind of digging. But also he's got some other news from Hollywood, including Jimmy Kimmel's cruel attack on Spencer Pratt explained, and Kimmel's Graham Plattner joke proves Trump broke his brain. That, among other things, on the other side of the break as we continue with one of our unusual suspects on Friday. Because you know what? Believe it or not, conservatives also like to watch movies and television. I know it's kind of weird. Normally, you just think we talk about politics and whatnot. Christian Toto, Hollywood and Toto, by the way. Make it a favorite on your browser. HollywoodandToto.com. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Rob Carson for Ghost Bed. I love my Ghost Bed. Do you really want another summer like last summer, barely sleeping because you were too hot all night? People blame summer heat for bad sleep when it really may be their mattress trapping heat. And if you're already sleep hot, summer only makes it worse. That's exactly why I switched to Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed keeps you cool all night. No waking up sweaty, tossing and turning, or throwing the covers off at 2 a.m. Cooling tech is built into every mattress. It's not some expensive upgrade you have to pay extra for. Hot sleepers are some of Ghost Bed's happiest customers. Read the reviews. Incredible support. Less stiffness, deeper sleep, more rested mornings. Ghost Bed gives you 101 nights to try it at home. You can sleep on it all summer long and feel the difference yourself. How many more summers are you going to waste on bad sleep? Ghost Bed is offering my audience an extra 10% off. With financing, some Ghost Beds come out to around $1 a day. Go to ghostbed.com/Carson. Use the promo code Carson. That's ghostbed.com/Carson. Promo code Carson.
TDS. James Covell has TDS. Will I land in a psych ward? That is anybody's guess. It's for sure I'm insane. I really can't explain why for Donald Trump I have so much disdain. I'm as crazy as a loon. I'm gonna crack up soon. It's expanding like a big balloon. It's gotten even worse. It's gonna be my curse. TDS, TDS, TDS. TDS, TDS. Is it derangement? I say yes. Whenever Trump is mentioned, I become a giant mess. He causes me such pain, pain I can't contain. Of my existence, he has been a bane, like Ellen and Rosie. In our brain, he lives rent-free, driven me as crazy as can be. It's something I can't shake. How much more can I take? TDS, TDS, TDS.
For 250 years, Americans have believed in one powerful idea, that we were meant to live free. Free to work hard, free to move, free to enjoy life without being held back. But if everyday aches and pains are slowing you down, might be time to declare your independence from pain. I take Relief Factor. There's a reason why at my age I'm able to crush it at the gym and ride 30 miles on a mountain bike on Saturday mornings. Relief Factor. It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to help your body fight inflammation, one of the root causes of pain. It's not a quick fix or a temporary mask. It works from inside out at the source. Relief Factor was created so people could get back to living life on their terms, walking, working, exercising, enjoying the moments that matter. This year, as we celebrate 250 years of American independence, take a stand for your own freedom. To commemorate, they're offering a special patriotic price, just $17.76. Yeah, your $17.76 3-week quick start is ready for you. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. ReliefFactor.com or 800-4-RELIEF. It is the Rob Carson Show. One of our unusual suspects is, of course, Christian Toto. HollywoodInToto.com. You should make it a favor on your browser. You should listen to his podcast as well, YouTube. Hollywood in Toto. Christian Toto, how you doing on this Friday, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. You know, my daughter and my son are back with me and staying with me. My son this week, and then my daughter will be staying the rest of the summer. One of the things that I've enjoyed with them is binge watching television, and we got back into it with this show on Apple TV called Widow's Bay. I had mentioned it to you. You haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but it is absolutely incredible. It's like. You know, remember Northern Exposure? Remember the TV show Northern Exposure?
Oh yeah,
it's very funny. It's kind of dry, very wry, very not laugh out loud, like Seinfeld, but very smart, very funny, and you combine it with The Shining.
Oh my!
It is something else. My kids, Christian, told me that Dad, you're going to enjoy the show. That you're going to notice that there's a real sense of humor to it, and then once an episode, it's going to scare the hell out of you. And and it does that. Now, do you do scary stuff? I'm not a scary stuff guy.
I love horror. It's my favorite genre.
Really?
I love being scared.
Really?
It's my jam, and it is like I don't know if it's a fight or flight. It's maybe for me, it's just pure escapism.
Yeah.
When I'm feeling stressed out, I've had a hard day, there's something about watching a horror movie that scratches an itch with me. And I'm often not proud of that because sometimes the stuff I'm watching is pretty grueling. I mean, I've seen the Terrifier films, which are gory beyond belief.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
Or like the Saw. I don't think Saw is terrifying. It's just grotesque. But this is I'll just tell you. There's one where there's a scary clown. And it's only for a fraction of a second, but it's enough to scare the hell out of you. It almost is kind of like, you remember Twilight Zone? You remember the smartness of the Twilight Zone? They'd come up with these scenarios, whether it be wishing away a kid, and kid wishing away people to the cornfield, and the picture of the guy's head bouncing up and down like he's a jack-in-the-box. I mean, oh my God! That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's smart, and it combines these odd scenarios. It's an island, by the way, off of the East Coast, Widow's Bay, and people who are born there can never leave or they'll die, and the island is cursed. It's just so good.
Speaking of scares, brief scares, do you remember the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Oh, God, yes.
There's a microscopic scene where a dog and a person were fused together by the body snatcher pod.
Oh.
And it scared me silly as a kid. I still remember it.
Meanwhile, for people my age, it was The Wicked Witch of the West. And I'm on Haunted Your Nightmare. Now that's nothing, right? That's nothing. Before we get into the other things, I just saw that Barry Weiss is going to basically be CBS's news editor-in-chief. We saw what had happened with Scott Pelley, and I got to tell you, you want to talk about arrogance and hubris, that you would go to an editorial meeting, in any boss's meeting, and dress down your new supervisor and expect not to have your butt kicked out, and then go to the New York Times and badmouth your employer. I mean, he's proven everything that we thought about him.
It's pretty remarkable, and the fact that he doesn't seem to be aware of how absurd
I know.
he sounds. He compared. Listen, he's had a job for a very long time. I have sympathy for anyone who loses a job after a very long time, for sure. He compared that to a spouse being murdered.
Oh.
I mean, that is so beyond the pale. I can't believe he said it, but these people are so insulated, they don't realize who they sound like, why it's so embarrassing. But it is, listen, this is the kind of shtick that Jimmy Kimmel should be teeing off on nightly, but he doesn't. He ignores it.
If what you say is true about media jobs, losing media jobs, and akin to having your wife murdered, I'd be one of the biggest serial killers in history. I mean, just unbelievable. Because I've never, boy. You know that scene in the bridge over the River Kwai when they blow the bridge up at the very end? That's what Scott Pelley did with the bridges between him and CBS News.
And listen, you don't do that. I've left jobs and I was under less than wonderful circumstances, but I didn't burn those bridges. I didn't take the people to task. I could have. Maybe I should have. Maybe it was the right thing, the wrong thing. You just don't behave that way.
Yeah.
It's just wildly irresponsible. And if you trash the boss like that, you will be fired in 99% of the jobs.
What also I found to be interesting is that if you watch 60 Minutes, you can tell how ungodly biased they are. I mean, they deceptively edited a Kamala Harris interview, and it cost the network $16 million. And yet Scott Pelley appears to be completely clueless as to his own personal biases. That, to me, is just unfathomable. I have friends like that here in Washington, D.C., who used to quote the Washington Post when they wanted to argue against my conservatism, and I would say, you're quoting the Washington Post and you expect me to think that's credible. He's taken that kind of unbiased or a very biased opinion and put it to the pedal to the metal, because he is truly biased.
He has a quote I heard him say, we're biased? Show me the metric that says that we're biased. Well, I've been reading polls over the last decade where each year there's a new poll saying it's even more biased than the last year. How could he miss that if I'm just a regular person and I'm not a vaunted CBS employee?
Well, this is what is causing their demise, and they don't see it. They are committing suicide themselves. And the same goes for Jimmy Kimmel. The same went for Stephen Colbert. They know they're biased, though. That's the difference between them and Scott Pelley. Scott Pelley hides behind this shield of vaunted First Amendment journalism when he is really kind of wiping his rear end with the Bill of Rights.
What's amazing is you could just fire up that old Google machine and say liberal media bias or media bias, and the thing's going to light up like a Christmas tree with all these polls and all these stories and all these things. He doesn't even want to do that, or is he just refusing to do that? I don't know which is worse.
Well, I don't like to watch MSNBC. I know what I'm going to get on MSNBC, and so maybe it's kind of that vibe going that he doesn't want to know. He's plugging his ears. He's humming la 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 la. I don't hear anything. But whatever it is, it's caused his demise. He's been invited by a couple of other unemployed people. I believe I'm not sure who it was, Jim Acosta. Hey, come join us online with Joy Reid. And, really? That's where you're going to go from 60 minutes? It's laughable. It's laughable.
The mighty have fallen.
Well, yeah, and exactly. And when you see people like Nick Shirley, 23-year-old guy, not a particularly well-spoken individual, but he's just delivering the truth. And Scott Pelley could not save himself. He is literally self-immolating and not even realizing he's on fire. We've got a couple other stories I want to hit on the other side of the break about Jimmy Kimmel that I'd like to talk with you. More with Hollywood and Toto's Christian Toto. Go to HollywoodandToto.com. Again, go to YouTube for the podcast. It's fascinating. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Gonna rejoin.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
I watch 60 Minutes. I watch Nicole Wallace. I read the New York Times on Sunday. Not every day. I know what they're saying, though. But I do that. They don't do what I do. They don't watch Newsmax. None of them do. And as a result, they don't realize that they are completely out of touch with half of the country.
Yeah.
What was the feeling about that particular opening salvo to the team?
She, I am told, said something to the effect of, why do you think the country thinks you're biased? But she didn't offer any kind of a metric. You know, what's your metric? Why do you think so? Do you have a poll? Is there market research?
No, I don't know, about 30 years of every night you guys doing leftist-leaning stories you should be obvious about. That's the soundbite you were talking about, Christian Toto.
That's it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, just the lack of curiosity. I mean, if he's really asking that question, gee, just ask a friend, ask a neighbor, go on Twitter for 5 seconds, do that Google search, and you'll get all the information you want. But he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to do that, apparently.
No, and it is voluntary ignorance. That's what it is. It's voluntary ignorance or just absolute deny. I don't even know. It's delusional either way. Let's talk about other stuff. There's a lot of great stuff on Hollywood in toto, including Jimmy Kimmel's cruel attack on Spencer Pratt explained, and Kimmel's Graham Plattner jokes prove Trump broke his brain. Let's start with Graham Plattner. Spencer Pratt.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it's one thing if he doesn't want Spencer Pratt to win. Okay, that's fine. You look at the ruin that is L.A. I don't know how you come up with that conclusion, but fine. Yeah. But he really, after it looked like Spencer Pratt was going to lose that race, and of course a real comedian would say, gee, that polling that takes like 3 weeks to get done, the counting the votes, you think that'd be suspicious, but he doesn't go there. He just basically mocks Spencer Pratt. Says, well, you said you might leave the city if you lost. Well, we rented you a U-Haul, and bye-bye, Spencer Pratt.
Is that what he did?
Whatever happened to... That's exactly what he did.
Oh,
and whatever happened to punching down? Remember you couldn't punch down? This guy just lost an election, and he lost his house. He lost all his belongings. And what Spencer Pratt said in response to Kimmel was, hey, thanks for the U-Haul, but I don't have any belongings because my house burned down.
Now, Spencer Pratt has just put out a new video, and he says he's not going anywhere. And I'm going to share that very shortly on the show here. But that's what he's saying. He's not going anywhere. I think he's going to fight this. I'm of course not alleging any fraud, even though Top Ramen over there was 20 points behind election night. I'm certainly not alleging any fraud, Christian Toto. That would be foolhardy without proof. But clearly he's not going to go anywhere. Kimmel's Graham Plattner joke proves Trump broke his brain. What's that all about?
So he finally brings up the fact that, hey, there's a candidate out there who's got a Nazi tattoo, and it's got about a bucket load of scandals behind him. And there could be more. Every day there's a new story about Plattner. And he said, well, at this rate, he might actually end up running for the presidency under the Republican ticket. That was his joke.
Wow.
He turned a Democrat with all his baggage. His fellow Democrats are rallying around and said, well, he's so unhinged and so disturbed and so Nazi-esque, the GOP might make him president.
It's just unbelievable.
That's a joke.
That's just insane. I've been talking about conservative comedy ascending because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. Right now, we're on the cusp of we've lost what was the David Letterman program. I said that you had Johnny Carson pass the baton to Jay Leno. Jimmy Kimmel, or I should say, Stephen Colbert was passed the baton and beat late night to death with it. We're on the cusp of not only losing that show, but also next is going to be Kimmel. There's going to be two massive voids in what was late night. And trust me, I'm looking at that in Washington, D.C. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just an amazing state of affairs. Listen, late night TV may just go away based on a culture, based on changing attitudes, may be the way we consume content today. We just go on YouTube or other platforms to find those kind of
late night's not going anywhere. It's just not going to be late night anymore.
Yeah. I mean, those hours of the night will still continue, but we wouldn't have Colbert to haunt us. That's for sure.
Exactly. I did see Masters of the Universe, a review on there. Is a big thing. He-Man was really big. I think more so for millennials. I noticed that Denny's had, for some reason, a Masters of the Universe He-Man menu. That makes sense at Denny's. I get the Skeletor pancakes, and what the hell? I don't even know. But apparently not that great. Not that great a movie.
Yeah, and the thing that's weird about it, you're spending all that money on a movie that appeals to basically Gen X, and that's fine. That's great. Yeah. I'm Gen X. I appreciate that. But the kids today, I don't think they care about He-Man. I don't think it matters to them.
No.
The older generation didn't grow up with that, so they don't care either. So why would you spend all that money on a project where you've got a very limited audience? It just doesn't make sense.
If they would have made it Soy Man, it would have been much bigger. All right, Christian Toto, where can everybody find your podcast and your glorious work?
Well, it's on YouTube. Just punch in HollywoodInToto.com or go to Spotify or iTunes.
If you don't start watching Widow's Bay, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. You've got to do Apple TV.
Weekend,
I'm telling you, and I'm going to text you this weekend. Have you watched it? I'm going to text you at 2 a.m. if I have to. You get on that show.
Hold me accountable.
All right, take care, bud. We appreciate you. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hi, kids. How are you? Who's watching here? Scott Davies. Oh, I got to refresh this. YouTube is frozen. Here we are. How's things going? Deplorable Dinosaur. And, of course, Scott Davies. Oh, I guess Scott's leaving. Scott's saying, till Monday. See you. Bye, Scott. Good to talk to you, man. Thanks for joining us today. You guys are awesome. Freaking cool, man, dude. Dale Arsenal, Pranayapachat, chatting over there on Facebook. I did talk to several chatters who were on the trip, and it was neat to hear the fellowship you guys experience when you are together on this chat every day on all of the platforms, YouTube and X and Facebook and Rumble. It's cool that we come together in such a fashion. It's pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. Anyway, 80% of an hour. Okay, Spencer Pratt. Yeah, doubling. I got to play Spencer Pratt. I want Spencer Pratt to double down. I want him to double down because L.A. needs to be turned around, and they can't let an election like this with the questionable outcome just lie. Of course, I'm not inferring that there's any fraud. I would never do that because, why would anybody think there'd be fraud counting votes for weeks after the election when the third place finisher was 20 points behind? Why would I think there was any fraud? Why would I think what? What? You got to be crazy to think like that. Anyway, I got to talk now. There.
Now that the campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase, listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall. It's just not fair. Hey, morons, I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nikki, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
Oh, there we go. It's Spencer Pratt. Spencer Pratt, ladies and gentlemen, doing a comeback, and he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. That just came down the pike here. But, yeah, Spencer Pratt is not going anywhere. And we'll see where he takes it from here. But clearly, he's not going to go anywhere. And I actually hope that he's not going to go anywhere. Because I think he ran a great campaign. And I think that L.A. is going straight into the pits of you-know-where, to be quite honest. And the only thing that's going to save it is somebody like Spencer Pratt. We still have the possibility of the election going on with California, with the governor. Not going to be as easy to, maybe the vote counting won't go the same way as it did in this one. But I guess we'll kind of see. Good luck, Spencer Pratt. And honestly, California needs and L.A. needs that. That's all there's to it. By the way, this weekend, my TV show is called Rob Carson's What in the World. It is on Newsmax. It is on twice during the weekends. It's also on Newsmax, too, by the way. But it's on this weekend, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m., and then again Sunday night at 8:30, following Dr. Michael Savage's show. This weekend show is absolutely outstanding. Oddly enough, I'm trying to get the actual what was on the show this week, because we got a lot of good stuff on the show this week. I don't have the rundown in front of me. But I basically, like today is this afternoon and tomorrow are my days off. And Sunday is, and actually I'll start tomorrow. I start gathering clips for next weekend's show. Sunday I gather, clips for next week's show. Monday I grab clips for next week's show and write the script, and then generally I tape Tuesday or Wednesday for next week's show. So it is a labor of love, and it takes a lot of work to do this, but I think you're really going to enjoy it. As always, I've said that conservative comedy is on the ascent because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. Clearly that's the case with Gutfeld's ascension. My show is a little show I've been doing for 6 years. Donald Trump watches it every week and retruths it frequently. He has told me that I am the funniest man on television. So if you would go to newsmaxtv.com for listings, download the Newsmax app. You can watch it on YouTube TV, $3.49 on satellite television. It's all over the place. Rob Carson's What in the World. Also, the Rob Carson Show podcast available every single day on all usual podcast platforms, including Spotify. Click the little bell and subscribe and share. It's gotten us to be the number 10 in the country for political commentary and growing for overall podcasts. Do that. And then watch my social media this weekend, Rob Carson Show. Instagram tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock is when I'm planning on going to the reflecting pool and going live. And just showing you the reflecting pool, and if there are people walking by, I'll interview them. But all social media at Rob Carson Show, if you would. God bless you. America is founded. Donald Trump. Our soldiers in Iran, as they're kicking their butt, and until Monday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then. All right.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.